Hi my loves, welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite girl Favor here. So guys, today we are going to be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful gown with side gathers. If this sounds like something you're interested in, without wasting much of your time, let's head to the tutorial proper. So for today's tutorial, this is the fabric we are going to be working with. This is a silk material and I have it to be 3 yards, alright? Now before we start up, I'm going to go ahead and rule out here and label it our shoulder. Then from our shoulder, we'll come down by 10 inches, which is going to be 7 as our breast point. I will come down by 16 inches, which is going to be 7 as our waistline. Now to get to your hip point, you count from your waistline 8 inches downward or 9 inches depending on your height. So for me, if I count 8 inches, it's going to give me 24 inches. I will mark there. Then I will mark 44 inches, which is my full length, and I'm going to be adding extra 2 inches allowance, and then I'll rule this out. After connecting the lines, I will go ahead and label them. All right, so this is our hip, waistline, breast point. Now the next thing we are going to do is to get our shoulder divided by 2. My shoulder divided by 2 will give us 8 inches. I will mark. Then from that 8 inches, I will come down by 1 inch. This 1 inch is going to be 7 as our shoulder slope. Now because of the style of this neck, I'm going to be making use of 3.5 inches, so you can either do 4 inches. All right, then from this point I will come down by my armhole depth, which is going to be 7. I'm using 7 inches because of this is going to be a sleeve length. Then I will go ahead and connect all the lines. Now from this point here, we'll come here and divide our armhole depth by 2. That is the 7 inches. We'll divide it by 2 and then I will mark it down here. Then from that middle here, I will go in by half an inch. We usually do this on this channel, okay? So to get our armhole curve, I will come to this point here. I will put my round bust measurement divided by 4, which will give me 9 inches. I will mark the 9 inch. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect all the lines, starting from our this round bust measurement and then connect it to the half inch and then to the shoulder. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is to get our neck depth. For the back neck depth, I'll be making use of 1.5 inches. So guys, we're cutting the front and the back together. Now for the front neckline, I'm going to be making use of 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and connect our back neckline first. Okay, so at the end of the day, I ended up using both the back neckline and the front neckline. They ended up being the same thing. All right, because of the style of the gown we are cutting. Now after connecting our front neckline, I'm still going to go ahead from this point here. I will come in by half an inch from here. Now from that half an inch, I will go ahead and just use my hand and try to curve it out, because the neckline is neither a round neck or a canoe neckline. So I will go ahead and just use my hand to try and get the neck design we have on our gown. So this is what I have and I will make use of that. Now I will go ahead now and impute my basic bodice, right? So I will mark 9 inches at my breast point, and then we'll go ahead and connect from our armhole to meet that breast point, because it's the same thing that we are going to be making use of. Now from here, I will mark 7 inches, which is my waist measurement divided by 4, and then coming down to our hip line, we are going to be marking 10 inches. That is my hip measurement divided by 4. That is 40 into 4 will give me 10 inches. I will mark it down here. Then we'll go ahead and connect it just like this. Okay, now to get our full length from this point here, this is our hip line. Whatever we have on our hip measurement is what we're going to be using for the full length of our gown. Okay, so I'll mark the 10 inches here, and then I will go ahead and just connect the line to meet it to the full length and the allowance. All right, the next thing we are doing is to bring out our dart measurement, and to do that I will be making use of my nipple to nipple, which is 4 inches. So I will do that 4 inches to the full length of our gown. After marking it, we will go ahead and connect the dotted lines. Now from our breast point, we are going to be coming down by 1 inch, and then from our waistline, I will come down by 4 inches. This is for us to get our dart intake. All right, now at this our waistline measurement, I will come out by 1/2 inch, and then I will also go in by 1/2 inch. Now what we are going to do is the normal way we'll connect our dart. We'll go ahead and just connect it like this, and then connect to this point. Do the same thing to the other side, just like this, and then to this other side, and we have our dart. So this is going to be going out. Now we are going to be replacing this our dart intake, which is 1 inch. I will come to this waistline and I will replace it here. Now this is automatically going to change the shape of our basic body, so I'll go ahead and just mark it down here. So you want to take note that we have not added any allowance to this pattern. Please take note. Now I'm going to go ahead, and from that our waist measurement, I will now connect it to meet the hip point like this. You can see the way I'm trying to make it look nice, so I will go ahead and connect it. So this is now going to be our new line, and that other one is out. Now to get that shape, the gathers, we will come from our waistline, come in by 2 inches. You can either come in by 2 inches or 1.5 inches. Now I'm going to be making use of my curve rule. You can see the points at where I place my curve rule. So you can go ahead and do this with your free hand. So at this point, I'll go ahead. So the curving is going to be starting from that our 2 inches. That is the essence of that 2 inch that we came in. Now we'll come to this our hip line here. We'll go ahead and use our free hand to just give it that curve to meet that 2 inches that we came in by, and then align it properly. So this is what you should be having at your own end. So just do exactly what I am doing here and you are good to go. Now we're going to be using the slash and spread method. So from that point, from that our dart intake, I will come in by 1 inch. Now this one is depending on how wide you want your own spread to be. All right, so for me, I'll be taking in 1 inch to the full length of our gown. Okay, now when I get to the full length of our gown, we will go ahead and connect the lines. Okay, we'll just use our ruler. You can use your free hand to do this, but using ruler makes it a lot more easier and faster, and it's going to give you a straight line anyways. So we'll go ahead and connect the lines. Now after connecting the line, we will go ahead and still come out and add another one. So it's still the same 1 inch that I'm going to be using for the spreading. So I will go ahead, do the 1 inch to the number of times I want it to be. So after doing this, I had 5 pieces. Okay, so after connecting it, we'll go ahead and label it up to the 5 pieces that I got. All right, so yours can give you up to 5 pieces or less. All right, so we are going to go ahead and work on the back pattern. Remember I said earlier that we're cutting the front and the back together. So I folded in 1.5 inches, which is going to be 7 as my zipper allowance. So you can either fold in 2 inches or 1.5 inches, but whenever I'm cutting a ready to wear or an English fabric, I usually use 1.5 inches. Now all I'm doing here is that we're going to go ahead and extend out the lines, the neckline and all. So at this point here, I will come out by 1.5 inches. At this neckline, I'll come out by 1.5 inches. I will mark it down here. Now I'll mark it down here. Now coming to our breast point, I will come out by 1 inch, and then our waistline, I will come out by 1 inch as well. Then at our hip line, I will now maintain that 1.5 inch. The essence of this is to eliminate zip bulginess at the back. All right, so this is very, very important whenever you're cutting a gown. Now I'll go ahead and connect the lines to meet this point. And then from this middle, I will also go ahead and extend out the lines like this. And then just watch how I'm going to just go ahead, use my free hand and just extend it to meet our hip line like this. And that is basically it for the back. So this place is going off, and then we'll label this here as our zipper allowance. All right, now what we're going to do next is to go ahead and cut following the direction of our marker. All right. So my loves, this is what we have after cutting out all the pieces. So these pieces is what we are going to be using to place on our fabric to cut. And while we're placing it on our fabric, we are also going to still go ahead and spread it. Now after slashing it, we're going to be spreading it on our fabric. So that's basically it for today's tutorial. So if you've watched this tutorial to this point, please do not forget to click on the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified on the second part of this tutorial when we will be joining all of these pieces together. All right, and most importantly, please do not forget to go green. I will be seeing you on our next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.